Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Wherever you are, however you are joining the conversation in Liberia and across the world. What a pleasant way to welcome all of you to Freedom Hub on 87.9. My name is Khan Oliver Kine. I'm here today with Princess Alexa Vanja Colley, jointly up to 6 o'clock today. We're going to be here telling you all about what you need to know about this country, Liberia, that is retrogressing on a daily basis. Too many things happening in the country. A witch hunt continues. On today, about 30 minutes ago, the Liberian leader, President Joseph Yomabwaka, suspended Emma Mentier Glasgow from the entity NAFA, pending investigation by the Ministry of Justice and the LECC for alleged out of mismanaging public funds. The Director General of NAFA has been suspended by the Liberian president. A fight against corruption or witch hunt? Or what is it? Or what is it from your end? But again, this is the Liberia we have on our hands. On a daily basis, things continue to happen. Too many things continue to unfold right before our eyes. But again, on yesterday, the Liberian leader, President Joseph Yomabwaka, was able to quote-unquote suspend individuals of government who have refused to declare their asset within the stipulated time frame. The Liberian leader, in a communication from the Executive Mansion website in Monrovia, indicated that he has suspended over 400 of the officials of government who have refused to declare their assets and liability prior to taking off office. But again, what is it? Is it a charade or something intended to wipe away the memories of February 11? Is he honest about corruption? Is he honest about the fight against corruption? Or was the Liberian president, seriously fighting corruption? Or is he trying to buy public sentiments? The conversation will also happen right here on the platform. And lastly, Representative Fode Fambule referred to the Associate Justice as a Leko talker. I repeat, Representative Fode Fambule referred to the Associate Justice. I repeat, the Associate Justice of our country was referred to as a Leko talker. But again, that is exactly what you have in the country when the lawmakers, those who are supposed to be real lawmakers, are themselves the lawbreakers in the country. And so that is what it is. So Rep Famula, in his utterance on today, referred to the Associate Justice as a Leko talker. He said the Supreme Court ain't got no right. That was the interpretation. The Supreme Court is wrong to tell them that they and Richard Kuhn doing fitija at the House of Representatives. So to punch back, he referred to the Associate Justice comments as Leko talk. That is what Representative Fode Fambule said. We talk about that as well. More to that. A 17-year-old boy in the district number 17 area in somewhere in the Broadway area was shot and killed by the Liberian National Police. Again, the police is again involved in killing innocent citizens. I repeat, an armless teenager, a Liberian citizen, a child without weapons was shot down by the police in the district number 17 area. That is the country you have today. If you wake up in the morning, if somebody is not missing, if somebody is not shot by the police, then some ritualistic killing is somewhere going on. Or better still, somebody is dying from zombie. That is the country you have. When you go to Facebook in the morning, you either come across a police officer killing somebody, or you come across somebody dying from taking enough of the zombie drugs, or better still, a ritualistic killing somewhere around the country, specifically in Lofa County, or something else is happening. Somebody is looking for their relatives somewhere in the country. But again, this is the country you have. This is the country that we have. Our job is to talk and make Liberians understand what's going on in their country, so that their government can work on things, so that the government will get better. If we do not talk, those in power will not think. They will not think rightly. They will not even know that they are messing up. They will not have a clear understanding of the kind of mess they are creating. On the flip side of issues, we told you on Saturday of this week, which is the 15th of this month, our partners, Radio Entertainment Liberia Incorporated, will be giving away the third grand prize. I repeat, the third grand prize of the three wise men will be given up. So 2-bedroom house will be given up to any of you who will be very lucky when you keep playing star 799 star 70 hash on the platform. So on today, we're going to be giving $10,000 to any of you who will be lucky enough to win. So once you are lucky to win some money, once you are lucky to be selected, 10,000 Liberian dollars will go to you. If you are not fortunate to win the 10,000 today, don't worry. Your number is saved for the house project. If your luck shines on that side, you could be the winner of the house. So whichever way you turn it, once you play using star 799 star 70 hash, it is going to automatically place you in a position to either win 10,000 or better still, the brand new house which will be won hopefully on the 15th of this month. Let's take a break. To come back, we take words from our sponsor, Crime Stoppers Liberia. And after that, Alexa and I will rumble into the issues making the news in the country right here on 87.9.
The people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe. Let's stop for all.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self, Omen Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self, Omen Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe. Let's stop.
Okay, so welcome back to the program. Alexa, good afternoon. Welcome, my dear.
Good afternoon. Oliver, and I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you. However, way you're joining us, would like to say welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9 FM. We have a lot to talk about today. So, however, way you're joining us, would like to say welcome. Also, I would like to say happy World Radio Day to all of the broadcasters across the country. Um, wish you all the best and continue using the microphones to raise issues, societal issues, as well as solutions to some of the problems we have. So, I'd like to say welcome. And we have a lot to talk about because Liberia doesn't run out of interesting stories. If it is not the legislature, definitely will be the executive. If it is not the executive, it will definitely be ministers, directors, and the rest of the other folks in the country, right? So we want to say welcome. We're going to talk about a clip that's circulating the social media now. Um, and that's from a representative who had to make a statement about one of the people who's part of the judiciary. So we're going to talk about that a little bit because it sounds very funny, it sounds very stupid, and especially coming from someone who should know better, or someone who should know exactly how to respect people who always try their best to interpret the laws of our country. And the fact that it is coming from someone who is also a lawmaker who should be able to respect the laws and respect the people who try their best to make sure our country move forward when it comes to the legal system, it is really disheartening. I don't know if we're on a dangerous path or not, but we're going to talk about that more. So we'd like to say welcome, however, were you joining us. And also the 15th of this month, I guess that would be on Saturday, one of the winners from the Radio Entertainment Liberia or Freedom Cash giveaway will walk away with a house, 2 bedroom, I'm told, 2 bedrooms. So that's like something very, very good. Some of you have been playing for a couple of months, couple of weeks, and some of you have complained, hey, we haven't emerged as some of the winners. Like, this is a lucky ticket thing. So 1 minute you're lucky, the next minute you're not. So continue to play and stand a chance to be one of the winners or the winner of the grand prize on the 15th of February 2025, which is on Saturday of this week. So it is like a whole grand thing. And, it's going to be a happy moment because people have won car,
Mhm.
a lady won car.
The first puppy won $1.2 million.
Exactly, 1.2 million Liberian
The
dollars.
second wise
Won a
man
car.
gave a vehicle. Yeah.
And on Saturday, someone's going to walk away with a house. So
Brent-
this
Brent-
is like a whole huge thing. That's like a whole different opportunity for you to be a landlord or a landlady. So continue to play as we continue to talk about all of these different issues in country. I think it is important to also give you, our audience, the opportunity to play and become a grand winner of a house. So that's like a good thing. So we'd like to say welcome, however you join us.
Okay, so basically these are trending issues making the news in the country. But Alexa, the first thing we want to talk about briefly, we don't have the luxury of time. We got a ration time on the platform today. So the first thing we want to talk about today has to do with the president of Liberia on yesterday issued an order suspending all those who have refused
Assets
to declare their
recovery.
assets and liability. I mean, how did it sound to you? How did you look at that particular thing?
I
Because
mean, after a year coming from the president, I think this is funny. Like it is,
Mhm.
and I would say it is long overdue because at the beginning, the president had already made a statement. He had given a directive, of course. If you are working government, you are maybe an appointee of government or the president, definitely you should be able to declare your asset, right? And I do remember at a point they had to set up a whole assets recovery team.
Mhm.
And that was one of the most controversial issues, or one of the most controversial teams we have seen so far in Liberia. And you have a whole lot of people that put on this mechanism that they're there to recover assets. They're there to make sure people declare their assets and all of those different things, right? And here we are now, 1 year later, the president of the Republic of Liberia said he had taken action. Oliver, honestly, for me, it is really laughable because it's more like you've given people a chance to do what they're supposed to do within the space of 1 year, or with the span of 1 year.
Mhm.
If they're going to steal, fine. If they're going to misappropriate funds just to add their assets, or people who did not have within the space of 1 year. Yesterday, the president said people are suspended. To me, that's not a responsible leader. To me, that is another tactic to actually get people's attention off exactly the different things that are happening in different sectors in our country. One would say, oh, the president is serious about fighting corruption. One would say the president is ready and he is set at about this moment. But again, if the president is really set, why wait after a year
Okay.
before doing exactly what he did yesterday? Like, for me, that's just the central point. It doesn't make any sense because people are supposed to do what they're supposed to do. And if people are following the laws, people are following the code of conduct 100%, if the president had already said that about a year ago,
Mhm.
at about this time, we wouldn't be having people, on that list, some of the ministers, some of the directors, a couple of different people say, oh, you guys did not declare your assets, so now you're suspended. What sense does it make? For me, it doesn't make any sense, especially for a leader who has said to be responsible, a leader who, focus on fighting corruption or making sure people respect the rule of law, the code of conduct, and people will follow all of the different things in order to have a government that wouldn't have people who do not follow the law. So the president, to me, he's not ready. To me, this is just maybe a cover up, because a lot of things have happened over the period, Oliver. And some people are now not talking about different issues. They're now focused on the fact that the president suspended over I don't know how many hundred people.
Mhm.
So now they're forgetting the different issues, especially major issues. Some of the people who are not performing, underperformances, and all of those different things. So now they're focused on just elevating the issue that the president is fighting corruption. But is the president serious though? Is the president really honest in fighting corruption? Is the president really intentional? Because if the president is intentional, we wouldn't be here 1 year later or they were talking about you're suspended. No, that would have been done like a couple of months back or 1 year ago. But now we're here and discussing the president suspending over 400 people. The president is serious. To me, this is just a cover up, and this is just a moment to take us, off all of the different things that are happening, especially what happened on Armed Forces Day, and some of the different things that are still happening in every sector. So it doesn't make any sense at this point. The president is not really intentional about fighting corruption as much as we want corruption to be kicked out of Liberia. That was one of the promises. So I'm sure it should have started just the moment the president got in office,
Mhm.
just the moment he had, written maybe a communication, hey, declare your assets, declare your assets.
Mhm.
So 1 week, 2 weeks, it would have been handled just in the first phase, right?
Mhm.
Over the first few months. But now we're here 1 year later, and now it is a big news, and everybody is saying, oh, the president is serious, he's intentional. He's not intentional. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so before I make my input on this asset declaration situation, like we said, their partnership that we are having with Radio Entertainment Liberia, let's just call two of the regular players. We are told they each of them will have $1,000 debited into their accounts. So yeah, so those of you who are regular players, watch out. We can call some of you, who will be receiving some money. There's several of you who we've given $1,000, but for time's sake, we just call two, to see whether they receive theirs. Hello, how are you, ma'am?
No bad, my brother. I come out.
Okay, that's a brother. We're good. I'm calling from Freedom Radio Liberia, sir.
Uh-huh.
Our record shows that you are a regular player and you receive $1,000. Did you get the confirmation?
No, only I check in my phone.
You got to check. $1,000 has been given on to you. You are a regular player of Freedom Radio Liberia Radio Cash Entertainment.
All right, thank you.
Okay, my dear brother. When you receive it, call us back. Let's see if we can call another person quickly, Alexa. Then I can run to the issue. But you made some
And
very
while you're
salient
trying to
points.
find another thing, right?
Mhm.
I think there's no coordination as well,
Mhm.
because if you had checked the list from, if I were published on the executive management page, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mhm.
There are people who are not even working in this government as of now.
Their names are also
Their
included.
names are there. So that's where I don't understand it.
Yep.
So there's no coordination. Like, you
Mhm.
just want to make news. Yeah, as much we want, of course, we want corruption to be kicked out of Liberia. but there should be coordination. There should be an intention that is really, really clear and honest. But if you are so desperate to make news, you're so desperate to have people to praise your action, and you forget about how genuine you're supposed to be, that's where you wouldn't be coordinated. Because some of the names that are on the list, like, they're not even in government, they're not even working, like, 100%. So how did that actually happen? How did that work, get to a point where now we're seeing some of the names, some people, they're not even here in the first place.
Okay.
So how did that happen?
Good.
So there's no coordination. So everybody just wants to make news at a point, and now the president is like in the headlines.
So here is it. Here is it. So we'll be calling on the winner subsequently. Like I said. But again, the second winner is off. So like we don't have bulk of the time to keep calling it. But those of you who will be winning the $10,000 very soon, we'll be calling one of you to be walking away with $10,000. So you have the chance to play, to be a part of the winners. If you do not win today, you are still eligible to be part of the house project on the 15th of this month. You can win the house. If you don't win 10,000, you can win the house. I mean, it is still going to serve the same purpose. But let's go to the issue. Like as I was saying, no, let's say this to our people and let it be very clear. I see bulk of you out there. Oh, Freedom Evan, KOK don't hate this government. They don't want this government to succeed. No. Nobody will lie to you.
But how are we responsible for
Nobody should lie to you. The first thing is that every bad thing that's happening to this country right now, every terrible thing that we are experiencing in this country at about this moment, are things that are happening because this government decided for those things to happen. Let me say this to those of you who support President Bouaka and this administration, that you are very lucky. Let me repeat. This government is very, very lucky. You know why? Because the opposition is very civilized. The opposition community to this rescue government is very civilized. They are not weak, but they are very civilized. They are very mature. They are acting on their own terms. You know what that means? They know what Unity Party did to the Pro-Poor agenda. From day one, how they organize, bring back our money protest, do the other one, all the other protests. They know how those things happen. The current opposition said, no, we will give them the chance. They said they will rescue the country. We will not want to create a situation where they will say, oh, we will not rescue Liberia, but every day you are protesting. Alexa, it has been 1 year, we're running into 2 months now. The opposition community is yet to organize a major protest action that will disrupt this government. No. Unlike the George Weah step down, the June 7, and all of the different political conspiracies. So when you support this government, you should be very thankful. This government herself should be very grateful that you are running a country with no political suppression. So there should be no excuse, Alexa, there should be no excuse for underperformance. Now we go back to the asset declaration situation. President Bouaka should stop confusing us. This administration should stop playing on the intelligence of the Liberian people. The framers of the Code of Conduct, those who crafted that document, I remember Akara's Moses Gray played a pivotal role in the renewed version of that piece of document. They were not drunk when they said every public official, especially appointed and elected official, prior to entering office should declare their asset and liabilities. They were not drunk. They didn't drink cane juice. They were not on weed. They were sound. They said before you take your office, when you win election, the time when you'll be taking a so new suit, the time you'll be taking us to repair your car, if a car old, you'll be renovating your house. That's in time. Take it and go to LSCC, take their form, and tell people how many women you get. You list the amount of women you get. You get one wife, you put it down. 10 girlfriend, you put it down. 50 other, all the property you got, list it. Who are you owing? List those who you owing. What kind of investment you did that you expected returns? Whether you made rubber from, put it there. That, I got rubber fund at 3 years. Because when you say I got rubber fund at 3 years, my rubber fund in 3 more years, which is 6 years, the fund should be productive. It should be able to, reach to the point where we can start tapping to start making money. Because they want to know how much money and investment you had before starting as assistant minister, before starting as minister, before starting as director and XYZ. So the law says, before you set your butt in the people office chair, let know all the things where you own. Beginning from the president. Interestingly, President Bwaka took office. It took almost a month, some weeks before President Bwaka could declare his asset. Now, President Bwaka, although you're sitting in Addis Ababa, right now you're in Ethiopia, but your people here are listening. The guys who you guys are paying to listen to the radio station, they're listening. When you come back, they will tell you. These ministers and officials of government who you appointed, they refuse to declare their asset because they learned it from you. The law said before taking your office, you should declare your asset. President Bwaka, you declare your asset on day one. No, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. On day one, you did not declare your asset. You waited a month plus before you could declare your asset. So your official said, well, wait now. If I didn't declare it, so mean a lawlessness. Let's continue. The law said before you take office. Because it is possible just by spending 1 day in office, Alexa, one Lebanese man can run to you and say, "And are you the Minister of Commerce?"
You have different gifts.
And are you the Minister of Commerce? Yeah. My man, although you just can't in the office today, but please, we can talk in the office, come to my place in the evening, come up steps. You go upstairs in the evening, Lebanese man tell you, say, "Hey, yeah, my brother Hassan, yeah, my brother Hussein, yeah, my brother Zanzan, my brother Zumwin, yeah, my brother there, my brother got chicken feet, although the chicken feet when you can bring to the country, it can be ratting, but how we managing it? Your inspector Mona can't be seizing our chicken feet. So listen, Zing, yeah, bring something for the honorable. Honorable, Zing, when they get 30,000 for you, holy. Yeah, Zanzan, can't the rest where you can bring the honorable, we can bring the rest. The reckon sport, well, at least somebody can be ratting, but who want you to be seizing our rest? So, Hussein, how much you get for the honorable? That they want to, and they want. So Hussein say, the rest. He said, Hussein, bring something for our boss man. Bring something for the honorable. They're going to 50,000 to put in your hand. So before you leave that whole Ulster play, you get almost $200,000 in one small bag. US dollar, the man who bring in the expired chicken feet, the man who bring in the rest, the man who bring in the flour, the man who bring in the expired salt drink, different juices. They finish giving you stuff as Minister of Commerce or Deputy Minister of Commerce so that you shut your damn mouth. And you will not send command inspector to go and do investigation. That on day one. Now, the reason why people say before you take office, you must declare your asset is because by the time the Lebanese man will not go talk to you when you're not in office. He will start to talk to you when you're already in office. So those who spend 1 month plus in office, they already have their connection. People are already gone to them to start making deals. And those 200, 300,000 the man take it, the man will bail her, he'll go buy land, he'll do the other one. So after all that thing, he tell the man can declare asset. The man will go and declare the thing where he bought as a result from that corruption money that he took from Hassan and Hussein them and Zinzin them from their area, the Lebanese men and the Indian men. So the law says on day one, you should be able to declare your asset and liability. Ain't say you got to wait. When you finish crossing deals, you finish crossing bad deals, at the end of the day, then you come and say, okay, yeah, we're ready to declare our asset now. Boom, there you go. No. You are declaring ill-gotten wealth. Because the essence of it is that tell us what you bring into government. So that telling us what you bring into government, it should be on day one. Before you enter government, it should be with the LCC. Oh, LCC, President Bwaka nominated me to be Deputy Minister for Public Affairs at the Ministry of Information. I went for my Senate confirmation, and the Senate made me to understand that I am confirmed, and I'll be going to the president for my, to be commissioned. But before I go to the president to be commissioned, this is my asset declaration form and my liability, stuff. That's why I'm bringing the government. You will lead our people to the LSCC first before you go to the executive mansion for them to commission you. That is what the law is about. The law did not say wait until after then you start doing it. That is just for the legal side of it, Alexa. Let's go to the political and criminal side of it. President Baka waited for 1 year, 2 months after his officials had already taken $8 million of the Liberian people money, $8 million to build out a commercial bank, because the bank reportedly allegedly financed the Unity Party campaign, and the bank went bankrupt, and because they could not pay the bank their money as a party, President Baka waited until the officials went to build out the commercial bank using $8 million of our money. Whether people got kickbacks and they invested the kickbacks into their personal properties and other things, we do not know. But he waited after $8 million of our money was misapplied before enforcing asset declaration. He waited until they took $22 solid million of our country money to say they're going to face moderate road across the country during rainy season. Today, there is no comprehensive understanding as to, there is no comprehensive report as to how that money was used. After it was misused by the Foxing Authority, 1 year after, he is telling people, we're suspending you because you not declare asset. After they finish investing some of those stolen money into their personal property, they're going to declare those properties that were illegally gotten. After you have ministers, directors allotting 55,000, 75,000, different amounts to themselves for buying ordinary vehicles in serious contradiction to lay down protocols in the governance procurement processes. After all of those things were done, corruption all over the place. You turn so corruption. You go so they won't buy car 90,000. You turn to the other place, they took 500,000 to buy cars, all against the PPCC and the different financial management laws of our country. After this wanton corruption, these corrupt acts that you've been able to prosecute one person for, at the end of the day, and you come up with one flimsy, how you call this thing, secular by directive, you suspended. Man, that's just a waste of time. You're provoking the citizens of the country. That's not leadership. After the guy already got him rich, some of them have already started doing some nasty businesses. Do you know some of the deals these guys have started cutting? So you tell them to go declare an asset. The man will declare, he will declare the one that he been owning because he doesn't want to leave power tomorrow and somebody go question how he got it. So some of the money men game under the cover, the Indian men and Chinese men game under the cover, the businessmen and the Fula men and other people game under the cover. He's going on to declare. This should have been done prior to taking office. Before, look, this man is an experienced leader. That is, at least that's what they made us to understand, that President Waka got 42 years of experience. An experienced leader will ask each of the individuals he's about to commission into office for a proof of their asset declaration before commissioning them. We have had too many programs at the executive mansion where you say, "Oh, President Waka commission second batch of the of government appointee." Ain't you know, Alexa? You can say President Waka commission third batch of government appointee. President Waka commission these other people. Commission these other people. You sat there as the president. You've been commissioning one batch to the other, from this batch of government official to the other. You are commissioning them. To commission me, I finished appointing you. You went to the Senate. The Senate said that you qualify. When you come out to me, I can give you your paper to go to the ministry. So the security can say, move from here. They don't appoint you here. That commissioning is the paper you take into the ministry to say, hey, excuse me, Mr. HR, this is my commissioning, certificate from the president. I'm the new SYZ confirmed by the Senate, and I'm here to take over as manager or deputy managing director or the minister proper. So you commission these people as the president of the country without caring to know whether they file their asset declaration, their asset and liability declaration, without caring to know whether they did the filing. I mean, how is this supposed to be a 45 years governmental experience? Your people made us understand that you got too many experience in governance. An experienced leader will first want to know whether these individuals who are about to commission, whether they are in line, in compliance with the asset declaration and liability situation at the LCC. In the absence of that, look, it would have made news, Alexa. It would have made news like on one of the days where President Baga won commission, cover pass away there, he might have filed in other minute, and you got it in the area and say, look, excuse me, before I proceed with this thing, I will want to know whether all of you here have already signed or, declare your asset. And, at that level, the Liberian people will rise up and say, that's it, Mr. President. That's exactly what it is. But you waited 1 year past, the guys are doing other stuff. Good luck. But for me, it is cosmetic. It's not going to make sense. They how you call this thing? The brain behind this thing is to ensure that people do not steal. It's to ensure that you cut off waste and you cut off the issue of inequality in governance. But what have you done to address the current corrupt issues that we've witnessed? The last time, when took serious amount of money and bought cars, you want to suspend him. What else happened? You took the car and sent the car to fleet management. That is not justice to the Liberian money. If it was wrong for which you hired him suspended, you should have had the law take its course on him. This is the conversation, except you are a party fanatic, except you just subscribe to party politics and you do not care for the future of the country. But if you say this man is corrupt or he got involved with an act incompatible with the fight against corruption and he should be suspended, suspension is the beginning of justice. So you suspend him, he is relinquished of his position in government. The next thing is persecution. You suspended Ami Muda. Today, Rosalind Sakoko Dennis is being suspended. What will come from out of that suspension? The last time Liberian diplomats were suspended from their foreign travel, the ambassador Alaj and all the other men, and they said they're going to duke people in other places, whatever the case is, all of them, they were recalled. After all the same people who were recalled, you reappointed them. There is no outcome as to what. So you don't want to cosmeticize the fight against corruption. To do so is to do, disservice to the Liberian people, and that is not something we'll all subscribe to. Everybody in the country ain't crazy. Equally, everybody in the country will not wear green t-shirts, so we all will not think green way. No, we all will not think green way. We're not going to support the same thing. What we will support together is what is right. I would have held President Bwaka if his decision would have been on day one. The first thing, he let down the guy. He should have declared his asset prior to inauguration. He should have done so. Or the first day after inauguration, which was on the 22nd, on the 23rd, on Tuesday, he should have taken the convoy to the LACC. On the 23rd. Inauguration day today, right? Tomorrow is Tuesday, the 23rd. He should have taken a convoy to the LACC and say, this is it. I got one hall to rehab. They be hall to rehab. I got another play, the other one hall in Lufa, one hall in Tantan Studio. The other one, I don't want to get it. Yeah, finish. I brought the presidency. But he waited until 1 month plus. So the other minister then said, but then we also will wait too. At our own time, we'll go do it. Under the law, everybody equal. The law is say when the president will get few time to declare asset. The law say everybody, every elected and appointed official prior to taking government office should declare his or her asset. It didn't get any exemption for any. There is no exception in that situation to say, oh, except for the president. But all other people should declare prior to taking office. No, it says everybody. So I think he let his guard down on that one. And I'm not impressed. I know you will say it is obvious that I will not be impressed, but trust me, I am not impressed by it. It is a showmanship. It is intended to buy public sentiments from a very dishonest perspective, and for me, the Liberian people deserve that kind of crookery. It is deceiving them right on their gullibility. And this is not going to work for some of us. No, I'm sorry. This is an opinion that is going to be controversial, but we're not going to buy into it. Trust me, you can fool us on this one. So I ain't going to say more on it. Alexa already got done with that conversation. So that's our input on it. We are saying it is belated. Whether you like it or not, this is a showmanship thing he's on. If he was honest about it, he would have taken a decision on day one. He would have ensured that all those he commissioned into office wouldn't have been commissioned without a proof of asset declaration. That way we know what's up. Oh, when is he going to suspend other than again for drug tests?
This is long overdue. That's all I can say, because Because if
what is he going to suspend other than again for drug test? Because you remember,
that was one of the most
Yeah,
publicized
yeah,
thing the president
you-
talked about.
you remember
know,
he went into drug test and said, and now I'm mandating all my ministers to
politicians.
take drug tests. Up to now, how many went for the drug test? But he been commissioning them. Beyond commissioning them, that's why he have been having cabinet meetings with these people whose asset declaration and liabilities, cannot be seen. You've been having cabinet meetings with them. Too many cabinet retreats. You've been having cabinet retreats with these same people. So during those retreats, you didn't know that you were working with people who asset declaration file cannot be seen at the LSCC. So come on, man. And not because Armed Forces Day, they put you in a pickup bucket, instead of you marching to see the troop one-on-one, and Liberian side of the criticize it, and the PR guys came out and said, Moali then came out and said, Babe. So the men can be talking about how to put you in pickup bucket to be passing you around. Let just say you suspend all who not declare our asset. That one will tell the whole news. Good. You succeeded in doing it. But the truth of the matter is you're not helping the situation. You're not helping the situation because it is cosmetic. Yeah, it is. Election. I mean, so we got to jump to another topic, except maybe for 30 seconds you want to to chip in something you don't have.
Let me tell you where my disappointment is,
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, we don't really care about how people interpret whatever we say. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care about how you comprehend. That's on you and that's your business. It is not on us. It is on you.
No.
But it is really, really disappointing to see people, a lot of people, I don't know if they're rescue missionaries or not, to see a lot of them when we're discussing these things and talking about, the code of conduct and giving different instances, a lot of them will come and be like, hey, you guys are just saying this because you hate Joseph
No,
Boakai.
I don't hate the Babe. Trust me.
We don't hate Joseph Boakai.
We got nothing.
Joseph Boakai is Liberia's president, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is something that you can't contest because 2023 general elections, we saw what happened. He won the elections 100%. He is Liberia's president. We are doing Mr. Boakai good because we continue to remind him of his promises. We continue to remind him of, exactly what was said and what he is supposed to do as
he the one said on day one he will be kicking asset declaration. We're not the ones.
So we're just here to remind him. And if you're a rescue missionary out there and you do not understand, or you're still gullible to understand where maybe your whole brain is green, so whatever we say, you think that we're saying this because we hate Joseph Boakai. I mean, it is on you, and it is on you and Joseph Boakai. It is not on us. We're discussing Liberia's progress. We're discussing the fight against corruption. Honestly, we're not talking about selective thing. We're not talking about something where you want to cover up, so you just dramatically, come up one day and floor the social media or floor different news papers that, of course, the president has suspended people because they did not actually comply when it came to declaring their asset when they were told to do so. First, you should be thinking of why they did not actually listen when they should have listened from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have been on the first half of President Boakai's
first
year.
Not even first half.
No, if we want to give the benefit of the doubt,
because
you have said the code of conduct is very clear.
No benefit. That man, during the election, this man said on day one,
so
if your asset and liability are not declared, you're not working in my government. That's what he said.
So all the things he said.
So you shouldn't wait for 1 year.
I don't know if you people forget.
You shouldn't wait for 1 year.
Easily you have memory loss at a point so you forget what Joseph Boakai said at the beginning.
That's why
you forget all of the things he said, and these things are documented.
When you campaign, don't talk plenty of things you will not do, because at the end of the day, we will remind you.
There are audios, there are news stories, so they are documented. So we're talking about these things. It is not about you; it is about Liberia.
Oh yeah,
like you're just one person. You're just maybe 2, 3, 4 people. And you think this is about you personally. No, it is not about you. So if you do not care about Liberia, because one of the reasons we're here discussing all these things is because of the decision you took when you went to the polls. And we do not blame you for that, like 100%. This is about Liberia, and Mr. President should be able to go back and just review some of the things he said, and he will know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
So if you cannot go back, it means you guys have temporary memory loss because you are not even understanding it. Mr. Barker said a lot of things. These things were said to Liberians. We're all Liberians. So it is about our country. So if the president has said the first day or maybe the first week people should declare their assets and people did not do so, I think this would have been something that would have made news if he has suspended them earlier on. So do not be like you are even comparing. This is now a comparison. No, we have Joseph Boakai now.
Certainly.
And the fact that he said he would have rescued the country, or he's here to rescue the country, we're going to place him on the spotlight. 100% he will be spotlighted every single time. So we're not going to say, oh, when George Weah, they won't, or George Weah, they did this. No. It is not about George Weah no more. George Weah is no longer president of Liberia. According to you, he did not do anything in this country.
Good.
According to you, he was the worst president in your mind. So the fact that we have Joseph Boakai, who is the best president ever in the history of Liberia, according to you, with years of experience, he's so educated, he's sophisticated. This is about him now, and this is about Liberia. So we should be discussing, Mr. President, definitely making sure our country is progressing. So if you're here and you're still referencing George Weah, or George Weah or did the same thing, it means you're not making sense. It means you're even going back on the promises made. It means you're also telling us that you just told us that Joseph Boakai, the president now, has a years of experience because you wanted power. So you have the power, do what you're supposed to do. All we're saying, this is overdue, and 1 year later or 1 year, 2 months
everything,
later, we should not,
everything you think
like,
you think George Weah did not do.
Seriously,
that's why he was beaten.
We should not be
in 2023.
here discussing, oh, George Weah was here. George Weah not here.
The reason they fucked George Weah in our election because of things you said he was
Exactly.
not doing.
You said he was not,
and
fake
you
enough.
said you will come and do it differently.
So what else do
So
you
when
wanna
we
do?
see you doing the same things for which you defeated Weah, we will remind you. If it made you vex, do whatever you feel like doing. But at the end of the day, trust me, at the end of the day, the truth will be told. You may be more in the country. You thought all the big more you made. That
So
you made the
you
one,
are here
you will do the
now.
one, you will do the one. You there now, the job on you now is not easy.
We're just reminding Mr.
Simple
Boakai,
thing yourself say.
Mr. President,
You know, they
we're
come
reminding
in-
you, we're helping you.
You come and say this and that.
So if you can't thank us enough for helping you,
But
then
let's
I don't
go.
know.
Let's go to this other conversation. Representative Yaka Koluba was at the center of the conversation today. You remember under President Weah, he bought a football jersey and gave it to President Weah.
Right.
Yeah, Representative Yaka Koluba bought a football jersey and gave it to President Weah. He said, "Oh, President Weah, seeing that football banner, you go to the UAE,
right?
I'll buy you one jersey and give it to you." When President Weah came, he went to Bapolu and broke grounds for the construction of the Emirate Hospital in Bapolu. That same UAE trip was able to provide the Unity Park at PHP for the people of Liberia. On a job, President Representative Koluba, on today in session, he went to work and he presented a pair of sneakers. Alexa, Yaka Koluba presented a pair of sneakers to Deputy Speaker Thomas Falah. According to Yaka, the reason why he presented the pair of sneakers is because Armed Forces Day was President Boakai's graduation day. And so he is presenting the pair of sneakers as a graduation gift for President Boakai. Why did he say so? He said, only people who graduating from high school, they can pull in, pick up bucket, and be doing ping around with them. I want you to listen to Yeke. You know me saying it. Listen to Yeke.
Akito gave you a sneaker, but Joseph Parker gave. He cried down on February 11, so I hereby present the gift. So you can give it to Joseph Parker.
Elisa, this is Yaka Koluba, presenting a pair of sneakers to Tomo Fala, the deputy speaker. He said, Tifa, go and get the sneakers to Joseph Baka, the president. I given it to him as a gift because he graduated on February 11. So in the mind of Yaka Koluba, the fact that President Baka was placed in a pickup trunk in Liberia, you can say pickup board, put in the pickup board to pass around, right? So the fact that that happened, it shows that the president was graduating from high school, because no president should be inspecting a troop of less than 1,500 men in Raqqa. BDC fee in law to use car and inspect troops on BDC for what fee? Come on, no president should do that. So Yaka was there, that thing was happening in that inspection of troop. It was President Baka's graduation program, so he bought brand new sneakers to give it to the president. And I just 3 seconds, then we'll go to the main conversation today. Was Yaka right about it? Huh? For me, I would not say whether he was right or not.
I'm not going to
the callers will come
I'm
about.
not going to say. But I think it is a full circle for him.
Okay.
Because this is something that is repeated, or that is being repeated, or that has been repeated already. Because remember when
he did that to President Weah.
Yes, we had George Weah as our president here. Yeka Koluba had presented a jersey.
Yeah, football jersey.
Right. And that was after President Weah went to the UAE, and he had several meetings with his partners and stuff like that. And Yeka Koluba said George Weah went there to do football thing. So in his mind, that was the best gift to have given George Weah. I remember at that time we had a lot of people who thought that was really fun. They thought that was fabulous. They thought that was it. Yeke was in his element, so he was doing that. That was like the best at the time. People shared video, people wrote about it, and people talked about that every now and then. So them, it was not really a bad thing. That was like the best decision for Yeke to have presented that as a gift to Liberia's president at the time, George Weah. So to them, that was like huge. So, they made fun, 100%. And today, I think what I'm looking forward to seeing what will be their reactions now. The fact that it is a full circle for Yeke, because he's presenting a gift to Joseph Boakai.
One brand new sneaker.
He's presenting a gift to Joseph Boakai after what happened on Armed Forces Day. So I'm waiting to see their reactions, because there are key individuals who had who had their own reactions when he did that with George Weah. A lot of them, and we still have a lot of them.
In fact, they said he was right.
Of course,
when he presented the jersey,
I mean, it was it.
He presented the jersey to Speaker Chambers. At the time, it was Speaker Bova Chambers.
That was it. Yeah, that was the moment.
So today he said,
he was his element.
Yeah, so he said, Tifa can carry sneakers to Joe Baka. Armed Forces Day, it was his graduation, not Armed Forces Day. Right. Our president can get in pick up. Even Ellen Johnson said, who are old like that, she used to walk and inspect the troop. And they were like, you can't decide. How come the rescue father is riding pickup?
You can't detect to Yeke how to express himself.
Yeah, we too are saying you can't tell Yeke how to talk. Anyway, Yeke want to talk. Yeke the adult.
So however he chooses to express himself.
Anyway, Yeke say anything, Nana, that how Yeke can say.
But I think the slingers, they look really nice. It's a good pair.
That's not going to feel the president.
I don't care, but it is for the president.
That's size. Remember what size 45? Size 45 shoes.
I think it is a good pair.
Those sneakers can fit the president.
And those sneakers, they look really good.
Okay.
So definitely, it is a good gift, and that's how he's actually expressing himself. So I don't see what's wrong with that. But it is up to them to decide whether he is right or wrong. But he is in his element as always, and he's just expressing himself. And it is not a bad thing for someone to give you a gift if they think you deserve a gift, whether it is a graduation gift or not. I don't know, but I think it is a good thing, Oliver. You wouldn't really refuse a very nice gift from someone who, you called your son once upon a time, right?
Okay. All right.
So
So
I mean,
that is exactly what it is.
he's an adult, so that's a good thing.
But we're not gonna spend more time on it. Just keep all of it coming up. Keep all of it coming up. So the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia, Alexa, Justice Bese, told the Liberian people that the decision of the majority bloc and the minority bloc at a certain point in time were ultra virus. And he was very particular about the majority bloc situation. Now, this is what the Associate Justice said in one of his his statements made to the public of recent. I want you to take a time and listen to it.
Some time ago, when we the national for the president address, they begin more of a news and the address itself. That was the common way of trying to avoid getting involved in potential conflict. You remember the conflict going at the House, the Supreme Court, when they appeared before us. We made a decision, and the effect of that decision was that, look, our law required that the House should have a quorum, and that quorum should be presided over by a speaker. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. The House should have a quorum, and that quorum should be presided over by a speaker. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. Now,
Okay. So this was, Alexa, this was the statement of the Associate Justice Yomi Gbese of the Supreme Court of Liberia. The Papa made it very clear. He didn't hide feelings. He said the Supreme Court made a decision. The decision was very clear. You should have a quorum and you should have a speaker. The majority bloc, you got quorum, but you do not have a speaker. So whatever you do in such a situation, it is considered ultra virus. That not mean talking. That the Associate Justice himself of the Supreme Court of Liberia, he himself talking. Listen to him.
now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral. Now that you, the quote-unquote majority black, have a quorum, but we don't see a speaker there. So whatever you do is ultra-viral.
Okay. So that is the voice of the how you call him, the Associate Justice Gbese, who spoke to provide further interpretation. And let's say you remember when the Supreme Court issued their ruling first, there were a lot of Liberians who were concerned about the interpretation. They were like, okay, Supreme Court, what is this ruling saying to us? You say ultra virus. Who's acting ultra virus to this situation? Today, the clarity has been made that the majority bloc and the minority too, to a certain extent, were also acting, outside of their constitutional authority, which is referred to as ultra vires. Now, in response to the Associate Justice statement, Representative Fode formula of the majority bloc was in session today. And this is what he had to say to the Associate Justice of our country. My people, you're listening.
We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give statement. We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give we will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give we will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give we will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give
You hearing it? Representative Fumula said, we will not give credence to any statement from Associate Justice, Lagos statement. That's why he said, I want you to listen to it one more time. Let's take our time. Let all listen and practice what he said.
We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate.
We will not give any relevance to any Lagos statement from the Associate Justice.
We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice.
We will not give relevance to any Lagos statement from an Associate Justice, from the Associate Justice. Take your time and listen to this. This is a lawmaker referencing a statement from the final arbiter of justice in this country. Liberia is doomed.
We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice. We will not give any relevant or any legal statement from the Associate Justice.
Okay. So my people, Alexa, this is it. You heard the Associate Justice. Now our representative for the family, the man said we will not give relevance to any legal statement from any Associate Justice. That the country we have. Yeah, I mean, I want to hear your opinion on the issue, because they play my hair, carry me. I want to be very careful, but maybe you got me. Yeah, I'm being very honest. Maybe from what you were saying, it would guide me, because the play my hair, carry me right now is tough.
I don't want to guide you, but I will say what I want to say.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, firstly, Oliver, I think this is something that is going to be avoided, and I'm saying this because a couple of weeks ago, if not months, because I wouldn't want to say months, couple of weeks ago, when the Supreme Court had, it was how do I call it? When they actually presented, I don't want to say a finding, but when they actually gave a ruling, if I would say so, that was a statement or ruling that a lot of citizens thought it was really ambiguous. That is, it was not really clear. It was just all over the place. Like anybody would have claimed victory. So at a point in time, everyone had their own thing to say. And people said, oh, the Supreme Court did not say majority block, they're wrong. They also did not say people from Speaker Kofa's block, they're wrong, and all of those different things. So we had different views. We're not lawyers. were not people who have legal minds. There are different people out there who are lawyers. They also had their own thing to say. So there was confusion to some extent. Up to today, there's still confusion because people are still angry over the fact that the Supreme Court did not, specify, or they were not actually straight to the point, saying what the majority bloc is doing. It is not really okay. It is wrong. It is against the law, because at the end of the day, what we actually took from that ultra vires, it means definitely you're not acting in accordance with the law. You're not acting, you're not following the laws and all of those different things. So it was left for people to interpret. Later on, you had different people interpreting what was in there,
including the Minister of Justice.
Exactly, that's where I'm coming.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were interpreting that, and it came back to the Minister of Justice. The Minister of Justice messed everything up because he was like interpreting. I don't know if it was on behalf of the president or not, but he interpreted what was issued by the Supreme Court of Liberia. And what he said was, in other words, majority bloc, they're right. They're acting in accordance with the law, right? So at the end of the day, they had claimed victory. And they started to act because they were told, oh, they're right, and whatever they were doing, was in accordance with the law, and this, that. This is something that was going to be avoided, as I said earlier on. But again, based on what was interpreted entirely by the Minister of Justice, it brought all to this point, 100%. So for that, I will blame, I don't want to say I will blame the Supreme Court, but I will still blame them in this. They're part of exactly why we're here. And the Minister of Justice over there are moments where when you're handling, cases. I'm not a lawyer. He's a lawyer, or he's a legal practitioner, or however we want to call it. But there's some times when you have politics, and you also have legality. You have to be very careful how you go about with your interpretation, because if you're not careful, definitely you will have chaos. If you're not careful, you will have something which will be the recipe for things that are not supposed to happen. So that's why we're here. So the majority bloc, they're now basing their operations on what the Minister of Justice said, his interpretation. So because of that, they're brave enough, to do what they're doing. Richard Kuhn is now parading as the Speaker of the House of Legislature. His picture is being placed across, different ministries and agencies across the country. It is based on the interpretation done by the Minister of Justice. So that's why we're here. So for that, that's their part. If the ruling was going to be clear, 100%, I'm sure we wouldn't be here, even though we're now in a dangerous state where even the laws are not respected from the executive down. Maybe there was going to a point where people would say, no, the Supreme Court already said this and this. So it was just like open, ultra vires. So who is acting? Is it majority bloc? Is it Speaker Kofa? So there was like all those different things. But the Minister Tue, right? He came and said, letting you're talking the majority bloc, okay. So from that point strictly, they said we're right, 100%. Fast forward to today, or we go to the State of the Nation address when the Supreme Court, the justices did not actually attend, and they had their own response to that. They actually addressed that at a point in time. Fast forward to again what one of the justices said. Just you played the video before the representative. So he had already made that 100% clear. You do not have quorum, and the other people have quorum, but still, ultra vires, it come back again. It is back again, right? So definitely, where we are. That lawlessness is here, and the majority shouldn't be doing what they're doing, because 100% that's unlawful. Did they listen? No. Then you went to session. I don't know if that session. Yeah, you went to session and you said what you said. Number one, I think that's really disrespectful, and that is something that he shouldn't have said, Oliver, because you are now looking 100% the justices, they represent the Supreme Court. 100% they represent, to some extent, the judiciary system of our country. So if you're looking in the face of one of them and saying that Lekoto or Inkin Jusha, that means that's a slap in the face of the justice system. That's a slap in the face of people who are supposed to interpret the laws, people who are supposed to be there to handle some of the issues that cannot be handled locally. that cannot be handled, just merely because you're saying the Supreme Court and just talking to one person, Oliver, you're discussing all of them, because I'm sure the statement made by one of the justices talking about you don't have quorum or the other people have quorum, but still you're not acting in accordance, with the law. It still means he is telling you what you're doing wrong legally.
Mhm.
And the fact that as a representative, like you were supposed to know the law or the laws, you're supposed to some extent understand the laws, even if you do not know some of the interpretations, because one of your functions is lawmaking. It doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be able to interpret it to some extent. So you look up to the folks there to interpret the laws. The fact that you're a lawmaker and you're disrespecting the people who are supposed to interpret the laws, the people who are supposed to that people then they can handle election issues now. If you went to election and someone warned you, you said no, that was not really fair. You go to the Supreme Court, 100% they'll be there to pass judgment.
Mhm.
So they are like the highest when it comes to justice in our country.
That's correct.
They're the highest. So there's no way to just speak recklessly, not just as an ordinary citizen, but as a lawmaker, as a representative, as someone whose function or one of your functions is lawmaking, and you are there addressing one of the justices as someone who are doing how they call it liquor talk, kinju talk.
Mhm.
If that is not disrespectful, Oliver, I don't know what is. Also, I'm not sure people will be able to speak boldly as he did without having, backings from, some people up there. One would say the executive.
That's correct.
Exactly. Because if you know 100% that you don't have the backings of maybe the executive, so you have to be very careful with what you say. You know how to guide your thoughts. You know how to guide your utterances. But you're just brave, not just him. There are a couple of them who've made different statements. It may not be directly to the justices, but they have said a lot of different things about the law. They've said a lot of different things about the separation of power or operation. So it gets to this point where now you want to ask, like, is the executive actually involved with this? Are they backing, some of the people who are quote unquote majority speakers block? Like, you want to ask. So I think that's where a lot of people are, because that's what was very disrespectful, Oliver. Like, very disrespectful. If you're so drunk with power, or you're so drunk with the influence you have, or the fact that we're still here, and then you are referring to Rachel Kuhn as speaker and no one is doing anything about it. There's no intervention. There's no there's no call. Like, you're not being called to order. The fact that you're ruining the image of our country internationally and you're not being called, it is clear that you have a backing. Like, I don't want to say strictly, but if these folks were not being supported hugely from the higher ups, I'm not sure we'll be here. And this is a point where you would think you're just doing this because it is now. You have Richard Nambekun, and maybe Richard Nambekun has the backing of the executive, maybe the president, maybe the vice president, or maybe whoever, and you think you're supposed to do that because you're on his side. Now you're disrespecting someone, one of the justices. For me, entirely, that is directed to the entire Supreme Court. Like, that's all I can say. Because if you are smart enough, or if you understand exactly why you're called a lawmaker, you know how to act. Sometimes you guys are now focusing on the politics of the day rather than the legality. Because at the end of the day, Oliver, if lawmakers saying the other thing, the ordinary citizen will just sit back and say whatever they want to say.
Mhm.
And if you ask what you are saying, that'll be like our lawmakers. So you always be a reference point. So I'm not sure this is the country we actually want. I'm not sure this is where we thought we would have been maybe 2 years ago. I'm not sure. A lot of people, because you're supposed to act. Yesterday I said something about it. If you're an honorable person, act as such. If you cannot, it means you're depending on something now.
Mhm.
Because if you just lawmaker, everybody focusing on the law, like there's no interference, there's no influence and all that. You will do what you're supposed to do because, number one, you're thinking about your people. Number two, you're thinking about the laws that you're supposed to respect and uphold. But the fact that you guys did things that were, unlawful, and you were not called to order. In fact, you were supported, and your speaker has been recognized by the executive. So you'll be like, we can do whatever we want to do. And the fact that the Supreme Court over the period, over the months, has issued, different rulings or different statements. Number one, from the 10 position cases and all of those different things. Still, we're still here. Nothing happened. You still know they're just doing that because they're Supreme Court. So now the Supreme Court is just a Supreme Court because of the name. The Supreme Court is just a Supreme Court because of the title. So they are not doing what they're supposed to do freely, because even if they're going to provide clarity at some point, even if they're going to give a particular statement at some point, still people are not going to follow that, because maybe number one, they want to reference the president, not listening to the Supreme Court with the 10 position issue. Maybe. So you never know what's going to happen. But I do think this is not exactly what Liberians actually saw. I'm not really sure this is what they had imagined, that maybe 2 years ago or 1 year ago or 1 year later, they're going to see all these things happening in their faces, where their lawmakers don't care about them, and they don't even talk about the laws of the country. They don't respect the laws of the country, and people who are, just considered the highest when it comes to the justice system, they'll be disrespected to that extent. Like, this is really a dangerous path. And I don't know if Mr. Buaka is watching. I don't know if Mr. Buaka is listening, because at a point, one of his people said he doesn't really listen to radio or read newspaper, but that's that. I don't know if he actually follows all these things that are happening, but that was really disrespectful, and not just to an individual, not just to one man who has spoken about ultravirus, or who was trying to make clarity, but that was like directed to me, to the entire, justices. That's all I can say.
So basically, and like she said it all squarely. My issue is, we are reaching to the point where we instruct the people in this country not to be law abiding. I don't know how that is going to happen, but we will soon reach to that level. Because look, I keep saying this to the people in our country. When you read the different records, the different reports, the different books that were written by people who saw the war, people who fought the war, people who sponsored the war, people who organized the war, people who were victims of the war. When you read their different accounts of how this country fought war, Alexa and fellow Liberians, you will understand that some of the things happening today are the reasons why we had some of those things happening. And that's why every day we cry on this radio on top of our voices, cautioning our people to stop doing these things, because the end is often terrible. The end of lawlessness in any society is a great price to pay. I wonder anybody listening. As I just said, they said the president can listen to radio, good, but his surrogates are listening to radio. Can they do him a favor to tell him that, Chief, with all due respect, sir, the country is slipping into anarchy? Can one of them muster the courage, even if it will cost them their job? Let them do it to save the country. That a lawmaker with authority from the executive look at an associate justice of the Supreme Court and tell the man, say that liquor talk from King Ju Sharp.
Very disrespectful.
How did we reach to this level? Even under a George Weah's administration, an individual who was branded as a novice to political governance, we did not witness such form of abuse of the law, disregard for constitutional authority. We did not see it happening here. How come under a 42 years of experience, political experience, governmental experience, how come these things are happening on a daily basis and nobody is talking? When I say nobody, I mean those who often feel that they have some level of exclusive entitlement to this country. Unless there are some people who think this country for them, this country is their personal property. There are some people who have that perception. They were the ones who were fighting Georgia when he was president. For them, he is not that kind of president. He's not somebody who should be president for them. Now, those same people are still living in this country and witnessing a lawmaker, a foreign family, refer to an associate justice of the Supreme Court of Liberia as a liquor talker. Those who wrote our constitution, they were not drunk on weed or cane juice or whatever. They say that court is the final arbiter of justice. When they say you are the final arbiter of justice in any country, I hate to say this, but you are next to divinity. You are next to God. That's what it means. Supreme Court will send you to prison for lifetime. Picking, you go. No other court can hear that your thing. You go no. That for life you enter in jail. That's the power the court has. The court issued a statement. A judge on the bench came up to provide further clarity into the matter, and a lawmaker, one fully family who is just 1 year plus in the House of Representatives, will look at the man and say that liquor talk. I agree constitutionally. Statements made in chamber, in session, he cannot be held liable for it. But I can also go to court to argue that what he spoke in is not session. Because the Supreme Court ruling made it clear, Alexa, that everything they are doing there, everything they are into, that's also ultra-virus situation they are into, unconstitutional. So the gathering in which he spoke, that particular gathering is unconstitutional because it is being presided over by a man who should not be speaker. And once you have a gathering and you consider this man a speaker when he is impersonating in contradiction to the Constitution, that entire gathering is ultra-virus. It is not constitutional. It is illegal. So he cannot be covered under that legislative protection. Let's say any statement made in chamber, you cannot be held liable for it. No. The Supreme Court can summon full formula for statements made against an associate justice. He can be cited. He can be cited. He could be held in contempt of court. I stand to be legally corrected on this one. I'm not a lawyer. But to have a justice providing explanation to a previous decision that was made by the full bench and referring to his opinion, which is quoting verbatim the ruling that was made by the full bench of the court and referring to it as liquor talk from King Jude Sharp. That was not only an act of arrogance, but it showed how limited Fode is. It shows how he should not be anywhere near the capital as a representative because he doesn't possess any form of training. I wonder if there is a law that says you must call the people honorable. I wonder if there is a law that says you must call anybody who becomes representative honorable. Because honorability is not something that should be imposed.
That has been taken away. Sir.
People should be able to earn it. How is that attitude of for the family an act of honorability? How is it? You refer to the justices?
And interestingly, most of these things that are being done, they are done by lawmakers who just came in.
Liquor talk.
Exactly, who just came
because
in.
They've been supported by, and that's why I'm disappointed in my
You're
own,
just a year.
Hey, that is why I'm disappointed in my Methodist.
Just a year.
My Methodist father.
And then you're saying things that
Father Oswald Toy is a United Methodist man. Why am I bringing the church involved into it? The United Methodist Church is the fulcrum of the rabble rule of order in this country. No church in the Republic of Liberia is knowledgeable in governance, on governance issues than the United Methodist Church. Because we start teaching you governance, parliamentary proceedings from day one. The day you enter the church ministry, we start teaching you how to make motion. I move again until the second that let's be thrown out of the studio for looking at KOK inappropriately. Somebody will say so second. The presiding officer, it has been moved and seconded. He has been moved by KOK and seconded by Austin. That let's have been thrown out of the studio for looking at AB Cousin. We are second away. All those in favor say yeah. Yeah. Contrary. No. Boom. Now you got what you finish. They taught us that thing from the. So Oswald Tuwe, who is the Minister of Justice, should know better than to have gone to the level of misinterpreting the Supreme Court ruling. It is the interpretation of Oswald Tuwe, the Minister of Justice, that gave the majority bloc the go-ahead to elect Richard Kuhn and main speaker to go ahead and start working on the budget, because he did the interpretation. And let's have made a very strong point, and I want to re-emphasize on it. She said, I want to blame the Supreme Court too, because they were not so clear in their initial ruling. Yeah, I share a similar view. My thing was the way the Papa said the thing, right? The way he said it day before yesterday. Had the Supreme Court issued the ruling that way, or better still, when Speaker Jonathan Kofa filed in the Bill of Information seeking further clarity on the Supreme Court decision, if Justice Wese had come out at that moment to say, this is what we meant when we say ultra vires, this is what we're trying to say, that they have quorum but they do not have a speaker and the actions are ultra vires. Had he said that at that moment, prior to the budget passage, prior to the election, the quote-unquote election of Kuhn, this thing wouldn't have reached to this level. At that level, Tifa would have known that we can't move until we get 49. They would have understood it. But to have left everybody in suspense contributed to reasons why Oswald Tuwe went and did the misinterpretation. But come on, regardless of whatever it is, the Justice Minister is a lawyer. He knows fully well the interpretation of the Supreme Court ruling. All the lawyers in this country know what the Supreme Court meant when they said what they said. But because of politics and few dollars from the executive and President Bwaka's quest to have a non-CDC speaker, made it possible for all of the laws in our country to be disregarded and so forth. Now look at the kind of disgrace we are having in the country. President Salif walked past Richard Kuhn and not even shake a hand. Judah Marabio came to this country, addressed all the members of the platform, and did not mention Richard Kuhn. So you think Judah Marabio, he knows that Labrador to get speaker? He's aware. President Bio is aware that the country has a speaker. Every African country should have a speaker, especially when you have legislative democracy. He didn't mention because he doesn't want to be mingled into the childish play happening in Liberia. The man was on the podium when he saw people breaking into Frank Dikova's office. And you think the man will go speak and say, Richard Kuhn? State of the Nation address, the court did not appear because the court is aware. Now, in the midst of it, then you have a lawmaker going to insult the court. So when you start making us believe that this court is a liquor talk court, and that's how when the court issue a verdict for those somebody to evade people from their land, and the people who own that land, occupying the land, say that court evasion order, that liquor talk will not follow it. Policemakers will beat the hell out of them. The shoe gun will shoe gun. Do you know where you're taking the country to? Because one lawmaker started a process of disgracing and acting rule on members of the full bench. That is the level at which you are running the country. Now, why is Liberia retrogressing under this government? Everywhere around the world where you find the rule of law is being threatened, the existence of that country is being threatened. Because the only reason why all of us in this country, look, and that's why there are people who I am stronger than physically. There are people who I can beat. There are people who can beat me. There are plenty of people who can beat me on the earth. There are people who I can beat on this earth. There are people who got money past me on this earth. There are people who I got something past on the earth. Regardless of it, there is one thing that can make us all equal and we can coexist. That thing is what? The law. That because of the law, let's say somebody can walk to that small car where you get and say, give it to me. You can give it to me, I kill you. Know that because of the law. When a person do it, you can carry them to court and the court will penalize them. Because of what? The law. That because of the law, the person can look at you in your little small bamboo hut and say, hey, you move in the bamboo hut. From today, you not get the bamboo hut, I mean get it. That because of something called the law. You may not have money, but you can have your little palm farm. Nobody can take it from you because it is for you. By law, it is for you. Now, when the law is threatened, when the law in any country is being disregarded, not by the citizens, but by key individuals in authority, it is a terrible sign. It is a terrible warning sign. Because when the people start to see that the law can no longer provide the shield for them, they will start to provide shield for themselves. And you know what that means. You know what that means, right? So for the formula telling us that the Supreme Court issued liquor talk. These quote-unquote lawmakers in the House of Representatives, some of them went to the election. They had constitutional problems. They had issue with the electoral numbers, with the votes. People challenged their election. Candidates in the same process that they went to challenged their election process. They had to come to the Supreme Court after exhausting all of the proceedings at the level of the National Elections Commission. For the formula, the same court that you say is doing liquor talk, it is the same court that made several of your colleagues to be lawmakers today. Steve Tikwa wouldn't have been lawmaker had the Supreme Court not, issue a final verdict in his case. They're talking to court from River says. Anthony Williams and Buffer Chimos had issues. Anthony Williams, who is also a member of the majority black, he is a representative today because the Supreme Court ordered re-election in Wetchockin, somewhere in Maryland County. He went to that re-election, he won it. That's how he became representative today. And I can go on naming several other members of the House of Representatives who are lawmakers today because the liquor suckers issue opinion, and those opinions were able to be respected by those who were, the losers in those cases. Now, how dare you refer to our final arbiter of justice? It is wrong. You're setting a bad precedent. I mean, you don't have to do that. How much is Joe Biden giving you, the majority of black people, to put you in hotel RLJ and operate with all they're getting? 2-3 weeks you there, you just gallivanting all over the place. Now, because of that, you want to ruin our constitution, you want to ruin our democracy. Do you know the tendency you're trying to breed? If we all start to disrespect the Supreme Court, look, somebody could just wake up and Warren Broad Street now and do any businessman where you arrest me, you come into the court. The court say, oh, saying them in the jail. My family can come out and say the day when will be taking him from Temple of Justice to Sub-Beach, we pull 300 men in a truck. We disrupt that whole operation. We overthrow the pickup. We smuggle our brother and carry him. Then the people become lawless. That's what you're doing. And that's why I keep saying to our people, go take course. This thing is no longer a fanatic over business. It is a fight against constitutional democracy. We are here today because there is a law. We are here today because we are a constitutional country. If we say because we support Unity Party, because Joe Biden our God with small g, small letter G, if we say he is our God, and the party that our religion, and anything that happens is a gospel for us, and we do not see Liberia beyond our political alignment, we'll plunge this country into chaos before we know it. Because these are things that can hurt people. Like I told you, read Prince Johnson book for the war. Read Samakaya book that he wrote.
When a certain group of people feel
before he could die, read Ellen Johnson Sirleaf book. Read a book written by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Say Guano. Samuel Jackson, the rest of the people, read the books that they wrote. People got disenchanted for small things. When you keep hurting people and they cannot find redress in the law, they take it in their own hands. And sometimes when they want to take it in their own hands, the rest of the country can suffer. What I tell you, how they call GSA money? Or he either someone kind of those arresting, they go jail in February, he got angry, he go America, Massachusetts, he get there, he come out and say, I gotta go moon door from power. Now he don't have that issue, right? But coming to moon door from power, there were innocent lives that were lost along the line. And that's why we are asking those of you who call yourself the custodians of this country, those who think this country belongs to you alone, and you are silent in the midst of all of these transgressions, we are asking you to speak out. If you don't join the few voices in this country to call on these people to stop violating the laws of our country and stop keeping this country, lawless, if you do not join, you will be guilty of whatever that will happen to this country in the coming days, the coming years, the coming months. We are not praying for it, and that's why we are speaking against it. I'm going to submit on our journalist, Alexa, then we'll go to take calls. It is a wonder these days, our journalist friends are no longer They're no longer gossiping about us anymore.
Ah, Jesus.
We were supporting George Weah in this country. Oh, yes, our government supported the Weah's administration. Regardless of it, we were vocal on issues that we did not see going well. There are people in the Weah administration today who can speak to me. The first person at the NTA boss under the Weah administration, Habib Macaulay, I was disappointed in the way he treated the NTA. It was terrible. He did a lot of bad job at the NTA. I can say that anyway. President Weah become president. I would not want to see him anywhere around government. I mean, that is my view. There are several other people who did, and we said those things on the radio. Those who did not perform under the Weah administration, we talk about it. Some of you journalists, you said you were independent during the Weah administration. You branded us as regime journalists. You would say all kinds of yama to us today.
Very funny people.
Today, all of you, the quote, independent journalists, most of you, I'm not going to say everybody, no. There are some of you who are good enough, who are speaking out, but most of you are now quiet. Your tails between your legs. You see these violations,
You can talk.
and we see some of you justifying these violations on our comments,
Exactly.
in comment sections. We see some of you defending this lawlessness, but some of you were the ones who were using your pen, your microphone to denigrate us because of some PR yama you were doing. I hope that billions and millions and diamonds you think we were getting from the George Weah era, I hope you are getting it from Joe Biden era. Our issue to have rallied with the Weah's administration was on the basis of wanting a better country. The reason we are criticizing the Biden administration is on the basis of wanting a better country. If the rule of law is upheld and protected, you, the journalist, your right will be protected. If President Braca succeeds, that road leave Monrovia to Maryland, Monrovia to Lofa, unless I can drive to Lofa County, go to a grandma farm, eat country rest, pluck pineapples, pluck apple, pluck guava, and different things, put it in her car and come out to Monrovia. That is life. I can drive and go to Maryland County, which is, tonight, Thursday, before 1 a.m. If the road is good, I can be in Plivo. I go to Chilitabo, go to my sugarcane farm, I get my stuff, do all the things I have to do, go to Harbour Beach, go to the beach in Harbour. Sunday evening, I come back to Monrovia. If the country is better, we all enjoy. And that's why our criticism is not because we hate him, because we want him to do the right thing. And that's why we see the country denigrating under him is hurting us. It is. Lawmakers never used to be brave, to be so reckless in their actions. In the history of our country, we have never seen police people go Capitol Hill and break lawmaker hands. We've never seen that. It is only happening under this administration. To see people going to break people's offices without using the court. No court warrant, but people breaking into people's offices. The country is retrogressing. Can't you see? But keep doing party politics.
And just to end,
At the end of the day, history will draw short of us. Let's let it hear you. Then we'll go quick. Then we'll go take calls. Yeah, quick. Yeah.
I remember it was around the elections, and I made a post about just the same thing you said. And I know 3 people, men. I'm not saying this to play the gender card, but 3 of them, some of them inboxed me, and 2 of them actually commented on what I said, and they were like, if you're going to do that, you're putting professionalism in the gutter. In other words.
Yeah.
And today I can see a lot of them, of the people who reached out to me or commented, they're defending from the LTA to the president to this, that. So it is not really about people against what you're doing. The fact that they're not in the position, or it is not about their people, definitely will have issue with you. Like, if I Freedom FM as an institution, I remember I also attended a workshop. This station was branded, and it was just funny while I was there. They were mentioning, like, "Hey Alexa, sorry, but we're gonna use your station as a case study."
Those are all Joe Biden people.
Exactly. A lot of them in the workshop.
All the NGOs that were here under the Weah administration, all the quote unquote integrated institutions, they are all damn unity partisans.
We're going to use your station as a
They cannot talk these days.
I was like, go ahead. I don't mind. I don't care.
They cannot protest, because they are all in the ministries as directors, as whatever. No protest anymore.
And today,
no civil society action anymore, because they are all in their government.
The quote unquote professional people just go on social media.
They're all justifying find
They will even try to act like they're being professional. Oh no,
one so-called professional man look
very crazy people.
look on a one post and said the job not for
Very
Funanti.
crazy people.
That for Funanti leave the job, enough for him.
A lot of them.
But this is the idiot who years ago would muster the courage to say, "Oh, we are breaking laws." But those who said the weird administration were breaking laws, they are the ones aiding and abetting crime today in the country.
Professional people.
Come on,
Uplifting professionalism.
and the difference between you and I,
Very
you
hypocritical.
and I, and you and us, is because for us, we are clear. When we say we support you, we don't hide it. We made it clear that we're supporting the WEA's administration.
Fair and square.
There is no way you can change me.
Fair and square.
When you see KOK, the next thing you think about is George Weah.
You wouldn't beat us for taking a side.
But unlike some of you media people, you support Joe Barker, you are United partisans, you got green blood running in your vein.
Media,
But
like,
you were always true. Even in our educational sojourn, some of our colleagues, they were there, they were bamboozle us, do all kinds of things.
a lot of them.
We incline when government issue come out, they will use us as today. They're all freaking shame. They are damn disappointed. I mean, in the very government they brought the power. So then most of them cannot talk because they are ashamed.
And we're still here.
What they thought would have been bread and butter is now derogatory. It's now deplorable for them.
Very funny people.
And that's why we want you to join us. Don't be ashamed.
Very
Don't be
funny people.
ashamed. So now people can fool people and they can make some decisions. You've been fooled. And you remain quiet, you will allow these guys to ruin your future. I know that you made a mistake to have voted them. I know that you are regretting voting them. I know they are disappointing you because they are not performing the way they thought. The way you thought they would have performed. But when you keep quiet, you make it worse. Join us. Let's make them to understand that irrespective of what we think you were, that you are not, we'll remind you that you ought to do the right thing for the country. And that's what we want you to do. That's all we want you to do. And so it is those of you, it is your time now to join us.
Yeah, don't be ashamed.
And let's have a don't be ashamed.
And we don't want anything against you.
No, we got anything against you. In fact, I want some of you to look, Elisa. I want some of you.
Anything against
Elisa, I can spoil it, right? I want some of you to life to get better.
No, of course.
Yeah, especially you're the journalist who
Of course.
the honor covers you the part of journalism. I want some of you life to get better. Some of you, Google team are having for you. Because it will be so hurtful. Baka lead power is more you. You don't even go Ganta. It'll be so hurtful. But let's go to the lines and talk to. What are you laughing for? Let's go to the lines and talk to those our callers. 0886 500 104.
We're still
0776 104 104 are the numbers to join. You're sorry, but you can look for it too. You look for Groovement more, you get it. 0886 500 104 0776 104 104 are the numbers
what's happening
to join the conversation on 87.9. You heard a different conversation. Choose one to react to, and we'll allow you. Yeah, let's talk to this first person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How are you?
Yeah, let's KOK, how you doing, my brother?
We are great. 1 minute, no time, Chief.
This is S. I'm calling from Caldwell resident.
Go ahead from Caldwell. Let's hear you, boss.
The first thing is, like you said, the president has a late service fighting corruption as a declaration. He started all of the economy to delay his assets declared, so the rest of the people should follow. We are not crazy in Liberia. The issue of Emmett Glasgow, I think she should have expected the action from the United Party folks. I saw her with the Liberty Party in a line. I knew directly they would have used it against her. So she just have to open up and know what the guys are up for. This guy does not mean well for this country.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's talk to this person. Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you. 1 minute quickly. Hello, how are you? How you doing? Oh, no. Sorry about that. Let's leave you right there and talk to this person. Go ahead, sir. How are you? How you doing?
Hey, okay. I just laughing, man. Good evening, my dear brother. Thanks to you and Lester. Look, let me tell you, I just laughing when you call your friend generally that need even when we're in school on campus, they'll be laughing. But why you guys so happy and you lost the election, but you're so happy? And some of your men are supported the green of religion. They say that in the corner, they say because it's not going well.
Because our conscience is clear.
Staying true to yourself is
exactly
important.
No, the guys thought, the guys thought we were doing it for billions. You know, bulk of them thought we would have would have fought over their opportunities in this government with them. They thought we would have gone to start defending Joe Biden. So no. Our job is this country. Your president should do what he promised. We will be here on our criticism.
That's all.
No.
I think you guys are right.
We don't need it.
Yeah. Man, I laugh when you start talking to me. Even on campus, they'll be laughing at us when government issue come out. They'll be proposing us. But look at you're happy because you lost election. You're supposed to be sad, but you sit down on your, on your show and you're happy. Every one of you that's supposed to president, you're happy. But these guys are supposed to be somebody they didn't want to come up, but they will come up. And they're coming up, but someone they say that right now, they say, man, they're talking the truth. It's not easy, brother. We thought this crack on this way, but it's not easy. No contact, no company coming. They said job be wasted, but now job be wasted. By the time drive from month to central town, we're hiring for nothing. My man, look, we inside, man. Let's keep putting the feet to look, we just want for Baka to do good for the country. Okay. That's what we want.
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you, my dear brother.
We'll go to election 2029. Whoever wins, that's it.
We just want the right thing to be done. Simple. Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's talk to this person. Go ahead. 1 minute, Chief. How you doing? What's your name?
Thank you, Khan. This is Sheldon from Connecticut, Mr. Khan.
Go ahead, Sheldon.
The gross violation of our Constitution at this point is not, they're not doing it for now. They're testing the water so that 2029, they can rig the election and plunge our country into something very bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you guys to make this thing loud and clear, because when such things happen, they will not suffer. The common people will suffer.
Great.
They will pack their loads, they got money, they have stolen enough, they will leave the country, and the common people will kill each other in the country. We saw what happened during the war.
Mm-hmm.
These people are not doing it for now. They are doing it because they want to test if that man can stand up and disregard the Supreme Court ain't got no more voice. The police is in the government pocket right now. The police is not neutral. The military, we don't know what's happening to the military. 2029, you're watching, see what's going to happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's talk to the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute quickly. No time, ma'am.
Hello, Kai.
How are you, Chief? Let's hear you.
Yeah, Kai. This is Emma Forrest. I'm calling you guys today from California.
Go ahead.
From Sesco.
Go ahead, Emma.
Listen, Kai, we are taking this thing for joke, right? But the statement of this lawmaker is treasonable.
That's it.
Why am I saying this? If you look at the Supreme Court of our nation and call them King Jew people, is also equivalent to overthrowing a government. If you're trying to tell the citizenry of the country that the Constitution has been suspended.
Mm-hmm.
That's the interpretation of the lawmaker's statement today.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That we do not have constitution anymore. We are running a jungle justice.
The statement of this lawmaker is treasonable, and you guys should be any hour, any moment. I'm not praying for it, but the majority lawmakers, I believe there's a plan in making for a coup d'etat in Labrador. These guys are brave to overthrow the Baka government. From the statement that are coming from their mouth in recent times, their statements are treasonable, and we're not careful. The same thing in other African countries going, we may win it, because you know what? They got the armed men in their possession. They got all the security apparatus into their possession. So we should be very careful. The statement from the lawmaker today is treasonable, and it's a recipe for chaos in our country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Amos Murray from the U.S. Let's leave Amos and come to Liberia and squeeze in some of the local callers here on 87.9. Let's talk to this person. Go ahead. 1 minute. How you doing?
Yes.
How are you, sir?
I'm Josie K. Morgan John. I'm calling from Tony District.
Go ahead, Johnson.
Yes. I would like to say this country needs a very strong prayer. Because if lawmakers can look at the country needs a very strong prayer. Because what we expect from Joseph Christ is what we see today. Joseph Brother, there is better all the federal laws in this country. And right now, he is leading us to a mess. So I would like to say this country needs a very strong prayer. Because if the lawmakers of this country can look at the court and there is the court, what the court were the ones that make them to be in power today. So we need to get on our knees and pray to God for very strong leaders to be able to
Thank you. Thank you very much. From Tony District, we leave you. Let's talk to this person. Go ahead. How you doing, ma'am?
How you doing, KOK and Elisa?
We are great.
The story too interesting today. Very interesting story. And this is Joseph Aka today telling people to do I don't know whatsoever. I don't know. It said you do your own after months, then a lot of people must do their own today. After years, after they finish getting rich, that trick.
Yeah.
It is a trick. Is that plain trick? Or us? It's plain trick. The people already finish getting rich. What you want for the people to go do? After you finish getting a lot of money, they finish doing what they want to do. They finish getting what they want to get. You know, we're not stupid in this country. The thing that people doing to us is very bad. And then the people there talking all kinds of things about, hey, when you carrying the children to the motor, do the asset? Wow. Now you see?
Okay.
You think we stupid? I tell you, thank you, yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
We know everything.
Thank you very much. We leave you right there. Let's see if we can take this other person on the line. Go ahead, ma'am. Let's hear you.
Hello, okay.
How are you, ma'am? Quickly, no time.
Hey, let me say hello to Alexa.
Hello.
Okay, these guys, I don't understand them. Why a lawmaker be rude to the justice like that? You lawmaker, they breaking law also?
That's what it is.
Hey, let me tell you, okay, those guys that were wearing the green, I swear to God, so they one of them went to my office, go ask me. I beg you, my account to help me. I said to do that. You
gotta help him. You gotta help him. He won't be in trouble around this day. People dying, food way. You gotta help him. Apparently, somebody was hungry.
We're people. Okay, I will go around for you, yeah. And that's how you left. Some of them apologizing to us for the petition and stuff.
You see
not going their way.
You see it?
In my office, they apologizing to me.
Thank you.
I think by the time they don't go far or now, I don't know. We go far. We just Buga.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you for the show, and thank you for the talking point.
Thank you very much. We leave you right there. We go to this person. Go ahead. 1 minute quickly. No time. We gotta go home.
Good evening, KOK. Good evening, Princess Alexa, and good evening to all peace loving Liberians who are in tune.
Go ahead.
On the record, this is concern.
Go ahead, Goss.
KOK, from what I'm seeing, lawmakers doing of late are indicative that there will be a very serious civil disobedience before this government, how you got to leave power.
It is not far. I can tell you it is not far. It is not far.
If a lawmaker can look at a member of the Supreme Court bench, the Supreme Court, which is the final arbiter of how you got it law in this country, to say such a thing, we are in scary time.
Okay.
And I am praying that as they are doing it, our international partners are watching.
Thank you.
Because the signal that they are sending out are not good. It's very unhealthy for our flesh in democracy.
Thank you very much, Goss. We'll leave you right there, Goss. Let's talk to this person quickly. Then we talk to two more and go home. Go ahead. No time.
Good evening, KOK. My name is Soti Tere, and I call you from Ghana.
Go ahead.
Job.
Go ahead, Soti.
You know, listen to the honorable man today.
No, he's not honorable man. Don't say for the family.
The rebel man, the rebel.
For the family. Don't call him honorable. Yeah, for the family. Go ahead.
You know, I don't even know how to describe for the family, because if you see for the family more, no, forget. Don't go personal. Discuss the issues. You can be or King Juice Soccer, and you referring to our justice in Jimbo as, liquor top man. You know, he said it on three occasions. He said it on Spoon. He said it on OKFN yesterday. And he said it on OKFN. Then today again, he said it in their so-called session.
Okay.
Their so-called rebel session. But we're getting there small, because we hear some information about the whole majority black something and other thing, but we're not going to disclose any information now.
Thank you.
We know that we're getting there.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. Let's talk to this person quickly. Go ahead, man. CC, the female general. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. That woman now on the line. Thank you.
Go ahead, man. CC.
Okay, let me say hi to Alexa. No, okay. When the child will bleed through, it comes from where?
It come from
my question. Okay.
It come from the
Maybe
womb.
that won't answer. Let me ask. Maybe that won't answer that question I have for you.
Why answer?
Let me ask my daughter Alexa. Alexa, when a child will be tree, it comes from what?
And so it come from the
It
come from the womb. It come from the womb. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, my son. Okay. Look, what I want to say for you, my son. Since you want to answer, I have a problem with God, no, that her grandpa. Since you will not answer that question. If the child will get training, it comes from the parents, right?
Sure.
So, okay, so you look at the father also. When they say African is rude, I want to say people also. You see, for the street, no, they learn for the parents, for the home. And the child will get training, they learn for the pa and the ma. For the pa too, when they say African man, and very rude at him. So you see, the children will do in the home when they can't answer. They will behave rude. So talk to our people like this for the court. Talking about a liquor store. Then you say you let you smoke what they call zooming. You that love me, I don't know your name. I don't want to know your name. Then you say you smoke vodka, you that you boy the country. Why you smoke? When you talking rubbish to yourself and the so-called sector. You talk about the men are telling you in the sponsor when you did was wrong. It was after virus. So I know it to pronounce it. So you correct for me, God say. The man told you don't see that when you do it all day, it's wrong. You need to go back. And you tell the men that live closer because your parents not train you. So you tell them to come in the street. But when you're not trained for the who, the street will train you. And we have to catch you. So go and tell your family that brought you out of some stupid way. Tell them that they are wearing the street for treatment in the street. But you never treat me. But they walk out down to you. Oh, you are very rude. They are okay.
We leave you right there. We leave you right there. Man City, let's talk to the other person quickly. No time.
Good evening, President.
Quickly, no time, my brother. Let's hear you.
My name is Azzy Wuzin. First, I'm joining you guys this evening. Electoral district number 14. President, I want to say thank you to you and Dallas here, Leza, for the conversation. But you know, things like you get Didier is there when he's there. He's just paraphrasing some of these things, bringing it back the same way. He's bringing it back in a different direction. We saw you get doing some of the things the president we are. But you know, for them to go parade the old man in a pickup boat as a kindergarten student. But these are things that we see kindergarten student doing. The 12th student will not be able to sit over car. These are kindergarten things. And a lawmaker sitting and see have the executive power to insult a chief justice or associate justice, and he goes scot free. That playing him was saying is not a recognized session, so the man can take him to court and the justice will be done for what's supposed to be done to him. I think it's the wrong thing. He should respect people in our country. There's a tradition in our country that old people, if you are sitting in old people reach where you are, you have to wake up for them to sit. And that tradition be respectful. And everywhere in our country, we respect people. That man, he is not equal. It's not because a group of people who he could see, he gave them beg of rest, he let them as lawmaker, he would disrespect. Oh man. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you. We leave you right there, and we got to go home. We have to go home at about this moment. Let's see if we can squeeze in this person. Go ahead, 1 minute quickly. Let's hear you. No time.
Yeah, hello.
Go ahead, sir.
My name is Ishmael. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Go ahead, Ishmael.
Okay. Yeah, you guys expect anything from Joseph Walker? Joseph Walker ever build anything? Many of you did not play for St. Francis School. You play for Crown 11. You think I expect you to come to Moravia to start tapping football?
No way, no way.
Joseph Walker has never done anything for you to be surprised for what going on. Because everything he did, he broke it down. Every organization, he broke it down. So we just gave the man the opportunity. He will break Liberia down and we'll rebuild it again. We'll start from behind. You just bear it.
Okay,
this man not taking us anywhere.
Thank you very much.
This is my first time. This is my first time calling you.
Thank you very much.
You play for Cry 11. I expect you to play for RE.
I didn't even play for Namonje. I didn't even play for Namonje. Thank you very much. All right, we leave you. Let's talk to this person. Go ahead. You're the second to the last caller. We gotta go home. Mavis gotta come.
Good evening, KOK.
Good evening, Daniel Saki. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Daniel Saki from Governmental. I'm calling you from two community this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What I want to say is that our brother from the opposition black, they are setting foot in the hand with the issue of fanatic over business. And you don't know, they are set up cartel, they are going to put it together. And we let our brain, we just sit and fool our hand without involving the American embassy, all of to partner. In the point of see to the party of case business. They men will say that they want to take all of the probably get the finance ministry, they get the Ministry of Defense, they get the NSA, they get central bank to the owner of control. There are people who have lost power, they were falling down the ground. But we have take power, they send on money. They will not be going to leave power very soon. It will drive the country all up on money. You get small money today. It's still maintaining. Money can last long, profit adding on double. It will not stay for the common people today to go to the American embassy and let the people stop the rating and go on in the horse there. Today, they may condemn the law that we all set up today and make in this country. Or law tomorrow, I'm going to say, oh my God, and say someone drinking you. And so we go break your child. And then you carry the case to the court, look at you and tell about only the drug on the seat and leave said, why were you free about the constitution? How were you free about the justice system in this country? It is time for people to put on their feet and fight them so-called majority black to stay and call to go to the American embassy to tell people how to put stop to the issue here. That the law must be the law. They don't go on me for the cover and put on the reduce it itself and then we see why they get out for the now man.
Thank you.
That, we are not living anywhere. Thank you for the afternoon.
Thank you very much. We gotta go, Alexa. We definitely have to go. We've exhausted all of our time, and DJ Mavis will have to be here to continue with the conversation. But Abraham Connor is our exceptional caller. Go ahead, AB. Let's hear you. No time.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, man. I know time is fast spent. Well, listen, man. Let me have my take on this particular drama that is unfolding at the so-called legislative session. First and foremost, the Bar Association, from my understanding, Famula is an attorney at law, meaning to say, so for predicated on that, he should be reprimanded by the Bar Association. Effect. That's one. Two, the people of former district that this young guy is representing, he is a reckless, very disrespectful. I'm sorry for the name he has. I assume he's a violent man, but that's not that's not the characteristic of our people. He is very rude, arrogant, and very disrespectful. This is the same guy that got on his own TV and literally insulted Sam Jackson, Illman, for the fact that this man is a cancer patient. He threw in his face and literally insulted him there. So that's his notoriety. This young kid is very rude. I think he might be the youngest male representative in our house, but he's very rude and he feels untouchable.
Okay.
It's about time that the Bar Association reprimand him, and this thing needs to stop. You can't have lawlessness at its peak, especially being exemplified at the legislative branch of government. It's appalling.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. AB Corner from the US. We will leave you there, and that will do it for the call-in segment on 87.9.
Guess what?
Tomorrow is February 14, which is Friday. We're not going to be here. We'll be here on Monday. Alexa, tomorrow is Friday. Valentine. You already in your rare Valentine clothes. Who's your vibe?
I'm not one person who celebrates that day. It's just a normal day.
Who's your vibe?
I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
That's
okay.
all. Why you looking at
No,
me?
so we gotta go. But again, happy pre-Valentine to all of you, the Liberian people. You will take it from me, KOK, and my co-host, Princess Alexa Vanja Cully. But I'm gonna be with my vi on tomorrow. Yeah, man, that's Madam KOK. Miss beautiful Nico Lofty Kidnapo. But sooner or later, Alexa is going to be standing in the. You'll be a groomsman in the world.
I'll be a best woman.
But you'll be standing with a man. How will you be?
I'll be best woman now. I know what's up.
Until we see you, have a wonderful time. God bless you. Bye bye.